What's up, everybody? Hang on. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, D. How you doing, D? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining the show. Tonight's a very special episode. We're going to wait for a few people to get in here, and then we're going to get started, okay? What's up, Sharky? How you doing? Welcome into the show. Hi, everybody. Glad to see that everyone's doing good. Welcome in, welcome in. You know, sorry I've been gone for a little while, guys, and things have been not the same for a little bit, but we're going to get to it tonight. Doing good. Nice to hear, Sharky. Been waiting and waiting for you to go live. I know, man. Today I had to take me time. You know, there's been a lot going on. Like I said, I'll let you guys all know here in just a little bit. We're going to give it about just a few minutes, and then we're going to get started, okay? But I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad everybody's showing up. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. What's up, Bubba? You know, welcome into the show. Guys, don't forget, let's push it out that I'm actually on the live tonight because I really want a lot of our fans to hear about this. You know, so push out the show and make sure you share. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry I've made y'all wait so long. And it's been really rough this past week, especially. But let me go get something that I forgot to grab real fast, and I'll return. All right, guys. I have a few things I'm going to show y'all that I managed to get while I was out with my mother today. Hello, how's everybody? I see a big figure, then I look back to nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it kind of happens. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Go on ahead and get yourself some popcorn and sit on down. We're about to have Clint Gage Uncut. So you guys can understand a little bit more of what it's like to be me. Dabbing. I do like to do the dab thing. It's kind of fun. Shuck, get away from the stand. Go. Go, baby. And Shuck's my dog. What's up, Luke? Shuck, get away from the stand. Go, baby. Go, go, go. Oh, I know you missed me today. I know. Go on, baby. Oh, I know, baby. What's up, Raymond? Hello, Edward. Let me pin. Guys, that's my girlfriend's channel, Jen Holder, at JenHolder976. Go check her out. You know, anyway, guys, let's go on ahead and get started. Clint Gage Uncut. All right. First off, to understand me, for anyone who's new or anyone who hasn't heard it yet before, I'm a schizophrenic. You know, which means that I am a mentally and physically disabled American, which I try not to let that stop me. I try to actually go out and make a name for myself and still work regardless of what my problems are. You know, I actually still try to keep everything together and work as a normal and function as a normal member of society, even though I see and hear terrible things. You know, guys, and the more stress you go through, you know, the more terrible it is. Give me just a second, guys. This is an important message. Sorry about that. I had a really important message from my dad. So, anyway, guys, so being me, um, being a schizophrenic is one of the hardest things you've got to overcome, guys, because you have things like impulse control, and they really mess with you hard. You know, it's hard for you to be able to take and stop yourself from doing stupid things sometimes, like hurting yourself or, causing a scene or things of that sort, because, you're seeing and you're hearing these horrible things. And the more stressed out you are, the worse it gets. And if you're in a stressful environment, which unfortunately I am right now, yes, I live with my father right now currently until I can get my RV set up and get a piece of property for me to put myself on. But, what's up, country boy? You know, it's a terrible thing to have to actually sit there and live with somebody that claims to want to give you support and claims to want to care for you, but they do nothing about it. In fact, they actually tear you down and they chastise you for who you are. And it makes things a lot harder, and it definitely makes things more stressful. I am trying to make something of myself. I'm not trying to stay in this household forever. I'm not trying to overstay my welcome by any means. Guys, I'm trying to start my own business. I'm trying to start a charity, and I'm trying to get my own home, my own land, and doing all of this while having to suffer through things like, listening to voices telling me to do things such as, unfortunately, kill myself, or cause a huge scene, or cause mass destruction, cause chaos. And you've got to fight these things off. And when you have these auditory hallucinations, I unfortunately also have visual hallucinations. So I see things that tell me to do this stuff, and I draw a lot of it down. It's something that's very, very terrible to see. And everything that has been going on this past week, I've been dealing with a very cynical man that really only thinks about himself, guys, and it's a very toxic situation. And I've explained before in the past that toxicity can actually lead to some incredibly terrible things in your life. It can cause some serious issues, it can cause some serious problems. And my father is unfortunately a rather toxic individual, which means that dealing with him and his anger issues and his cynicism and his utter refusal to understand, is a constant battle every single day. And, if I slip up and I do something by mistake, or I leave something out because I forget, yeah, I draw the things I see exactly, can kill all. And that kind of helps. But, the only problem is everything's nitpicked. Everything's told how this person does better, or they've seen better, or, I could have tried harder, or something like that. Over time, it gets really old. And the older you get, the more it actually starts to bug you. You think that you can get over it quickly, and that you just move on. But it's a continuous thing throughout your life. It really does eventually start to irk on your nerves in a way, to the point where it actually can cause some mental instability. And that's unfortunately what it's attempting to do to me right now. It's causing some more instability in the way I've been controlling my schizophrenia and taking care of myself, and trying to prioritize everything that I have in order. Trying to make sure that, and hallucinations come in every few hours, and I see it from 1 second, then it disappears into the air. Yeah, pretty much. But these hallucinations I've dealt with since I was a small child, which has never been easy. It's a very difficult thing to have to put up with. And for somebody to literally sit there and have doctors tell them, no, your son is mentally ill and he needs assistance, he's going to need assistance the rest of his life. He has to live with somebody, and him sit there and be like, well, you're going to do it on your own anyway. It makes things rather difficult. I don't complain. I don't argue. I don't fight. I try not to anyway. But buttons do get pushed. Frenchie, nice. Oh, you're all good there, Frenchie. Thank you for the information. But I didn't know this. I've kind of been in Clint Gage's world all day. I've been thinking about this and wanting to talk with everybody about it. But, one of the hardest parts about being me is I am different. I know this. I am a really, oh, I'm sorry there. See you later, man. But I am different. I do understand this. I dress in a very old style. I do old school things. What's up, Nikesh? And I'm definitely not your average individual. And doing these things makes me a happy person. It makes me feel good about myself. It makes me enjoy my life from day to day. And that's something that kind of escapes him because he's constantly stuck in this angry state. And I unfortunately feel sorry for him, because he's always mad about something. And he's got to take that out on everybody and everything. And it makes him a very miserable person, which is why I choose to be happy as best I can be. As many times as I can throughout the day, I choose to be as happy as possible. And it's because I've seen a man grow up his entire life with anger and mistrust in his heart. And it's turned him into a terrible person, and it's not great, to be around. Unfortunately, he chases everybody off. And, I don't want to be one of those people. So I'm the only person that supports my dad, and I work hard to try to earn his respect and his, kind word. But I don't always get it. And it sounds weird that I'm 37 years old and I'm doing that. But I've been trying to do that since I was small. I've been trying to earn that respect and that loyalty to where I'm treated like an adult. And I'm still treated like a child, only because of my mental state. And guys, I think I do a pretty good job controlling schizophrenia. It's a really hard thing to take care of. Most people who are schizophrenics can't even take showers by themselves. I shower every day, unless I fall asleep in a recliner and they don't wake me up, and then I shower the very next morning. But I have to be really tired for that to happen. But, guys, I have my slip-ups. I forget things. Like, I forget my medication sometimes, which is a lot of the times what ends up taking and, causing me to freak out and have schizophrenic episodes. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Country Boys. But I went through my childhood dealing with this schizophrenia. And unfortunately, I had a very old school, very Bible thumper family. And, the answer was to beat the demons out of me. So I was rather abused. Actually, not rather abused. I was severely abused. To the point where I was tortured with counter prods. I got a nail through my wrist with a nail gun. I have several broken bones. Hello, Superior. Hello, Mind Razor. And I went through my life basically as a constant battle. And because of those severe beatings I took as a child, I now have epilepsy, developmental epilepsy, due to severe brain damage. And I have fought long and hard to pull myself out of homelessness after being thrown out at 16 years. I worked my butt off trying to establish a job with the Texas Parks and Wildlife, only to have it yanked out from underneath me. I've rebuilt my life 19 times. I've struggled from homelessness to house, from homelessness to house, and didn't even realize that I was mentally unstable. I didn't realize that I had schizophrenia. I didn't know that I was an epileptic. I thought I was just stressed out. Everybody saw things and heard things. I didn't know that it was a problem. And then I had a man whose brother was schizophrenic. He saw the way I acted. I worked with him. And then one day he told me I needed to go get screened. So when I ended up taking and going to Ohio, where they had better health benefits, and of course COVID happened, I tried out for my disability. I decided to go on ahead and see if there was something wrong. Because if I tried for disability, I would have immediately gotten emergency insurance if they thought something was wrong. So I tried out, and I ended up getting emergency insurance that day. And I was like, wait, what? I went through a single psych evaluation, and I got emergency insurance that very day. And for most people, they would have been happy. For me, it was a blow to the gut, because it meant something was actually wrong with me. I wasn't normal. So it freaked me out, and I, well, and when she found out about it, she ended up sleeping with somebody that was supposed to be my friend, and stayed sleeping with him while we were in the same boarding house. So because of her refusal to move out, and the landlord saying as long as she paid her way it was okay, I had to listen to them going at it. And it was just a terrible thing. And on top of being diagnosed with schizophrenia, when I finally figured it out, and that's when my hair turned gray, I went so stressed out. And even though I had long hair, it fell out, guys. I had hair down to here, and it was curly. If I straightened it, it was almost down to my stomach. And when the schizophrenia really, really showed itself, because sometimes it takes years before it decides to actually activate. And when it finally did, and the stress became so great that my mind broke, my hair fell out, my beard turned gray, because it used to be red, and I lost, I think it was 100 pounds in less than 4 months, because of how devastating it was to have to go through all this stress all at once, and realize that everything that has ever happened to me has led up to me finally being crippled at a very early age, and it was devastating to find this out. I thought my life was over. I was like, wow, there's nothing I can do. There's no state in America that's going to let me work with epilepsy and schizophrenia, and I have severe brain damage to several parts of my, several lobes of my brain, both the left and the right and the front and the back, and they're all messed up to the point where I have a hernia in my brain. And that's what's causing my seizures, guys. So it's kind of like a boxer getting too many concussions in his career, kind of like what they were talking about it was happening to Rocky. It's basically the same basic principle. I got to be around so much, and also there was some things in there. There was a few concussions that were my fault, but that was different stories, But as far as what has forged me and shaped me into me, it was me growing up with these horrible acts performed against me, with these terrible decisions that were being made against this, and that ended up leading towards a broken man. And I refuse now to be broken anymore. So I'm going to pull myself out of it. I'm going to use this channel, and I'm going to use all my knowledge and all my skills that I've gained through finding things that gave me peace to be able to bring myself into a world where I can be accepted and I can be understood and I can be, seen as a functioning member of society and not a burden of the state. And that is my main goal, is to become a normal member of society again. And that is a huge struggle. It's a never ending, because I will eventually develop dementia from this problem, or Parkinson's. So there's a lot of huge factors that I've got to take into consideration. And not only are the hallucinations a horrible thing to have to go through, the schizophrenia is terrible. Epilepsy is a horrible disease that you got to fight to. That is a very painful process. Every seizure you go through wrecks your body. Every time you have a grand mal seizure or even a petit mal seizure, you're having basically a heart attack. Every time your blood pressure goes up that high, you run the risk of aneurysm or stroke. And guys, the more stress I've been under, and I've been under quite a lot lately due to my living situation and trying to get everything together for you guys and trying to be a great host and trying to think of new topics every night to think about and making each video better than the next and trying to hit the trends and all those things. Guys, it's a never-ending struggle. It's rather stressful just for YouTube alone, but I welcome that stress. I welcome all that. I love dealing with you guys. You guys are amazing. Y'all make me so happy. That's why I can wear a smile right now, even though I'm being really serious and I'm talking about some rather unfortunate things that has gone down. Because, guys, I only have two people in my life aside from Jin and my disabled friend. So aside from two people outside my biological family, I've only got two people in my actual family that I can even talk to. And that's my mom and my dad. My dad is very cynical and angry. My mom is sometimes selfish and very narcissistic. So, we run into these issues every single time when we go to talk sometimes. But I love them to death because they're also great people. They will do amazing things for you when the time is right. But the problem is, the time is not right. The time is now. It's necessary. It's needed. And I unfortunately cannot, with the amount of money I make on my disability, make it on my own anymore. I need to be able to have somebody give me a hand. And so I'm fighting for a way to be able to not have to ask for that hand. I'm fighting for a way to be able to not have to worry about, hey, your taxes pays my food. No, I don't want that anymore. I want to be an independent individual. And that's a struggle for somebody like me. That is a pain that most people don't understand. I have worked my butt to the bone for the majority of my life, and just trying to be able to make a living, and I kept losing job after job because I'd have a seizure or I'd have hallucinations. And now I understand what's going on, and it's a different adjustment. But if I'm going to end up being a liability to majority of businesses out there, then I have made the decision to conscientiously use my skills, and all my hobbies that I've gathered up over the years and everything that I've learned. And I'm going to piece it together and I'm going to make a business out of it. And that business is going to eventually be my livelihood, where I can sit back and enjoy myself and do the things I love to do, which is very calming for my mental state and would very much help keep my schizophrenia at bay. It would very much help keep my seizures at bay, because you guys have seen me behind the forge. It might be hot, it might be sweaty, it might be back-breaking work, but I love it. I love the forge. I love the sound of the anvil. I love the feel of the hot metal. It's an amazing sensation to me to be able to take a block and turn it into a beautiful work of art and a deadly, deadly tool in the process. Guys, it's just it's like creation itself. You get to take nothing and make it into something special. And especially whenever I learned flip napping, guys. Whenever I start that journey, that's going to be even funner. Because we're going to finally get to learn how to make stone arrowheads and things of that sort. So we're going to work on that as well, guys. But whenever I was growing up and I was dealing with all those horrible beatings and neglect and all the other stuff that I had to deal with, the one thing I had going for me was my mom bought me a VHS and a VCR and a TV. She bought me those two, and it was because my mom never hurt me. She was always working too much, and my dad was just really cynical of me. But it was my grandmother and some of my uncles that hurt me. But they were the ones who watched me the most, which sucked. But anyhow, she bought me a TV and a VCR. And we had all these old adventure movies, that were just amazing. These fantasy films, like The Dark Crystal and Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, Beastmaster, The Barbarians. The list goes on and on and on. There were all these old sword and sorcery flicks. And they were so incredible, and they used to fascinate me so much. Willow was one of my favorite movies growing up. And, I wanted to escape to those worlds so bad. I wanted to run away to one of those fantasy realms so bad to get away from all the pain and all the hatred that I felt towards me. And, guys, when you're little and you're scared to death because around every corner are monsters, but the worst monsters are your family, what do you do? Where do you turn? You turn inward, is what happens. You turn into your own mind. And you might not even mean to. It's just going to naturally happen. And your brain is going to replace memories. It's going to change memories just because it knows that those other old memories are just too painful. Guys, I started when I went through my therapy, I started remembering a lot of the stuff that happened to me. And some of it still brings me to tears when I think about what I really went through. And how am I even alive? Guys, I've been hungry, I've been shot, stabbed, set on fire, I've been ran over, I've been almost drowned. The list goes on. Some of it, like I said, it was me. Some of it was me being stupid, having a, hey mom, watch this, or a hold my beer moment. But, those just kind of happen when you grow up. You're going to have your own little brushes with death on occasion. But the worst thing about dealing with what I had to go through and having to face was doing it alone and being told that I was lying until I got 35 years, or not 35, 33 years of age, and found out that I was legally crazy. What do you want, Shucker Puppers? Do you need to go potty? Do you need to go potty? Well, guys, give me just a moment. Let me walk my dog, and I will return for some more of Clint Gage Uncut. So, actually, I'll be returning for the rest of the show to be a hangout. Okay, guys? So give me just about maybe 10 minutes, and I'll return. Okay? the alarm, guys. Come on, you stupid alarm. All right, I'm back. My dad actually ended up taking over for me. So anyway, guys, welcome into the show. How's everybody doing? Is my chat frozen? Can somebody talk to me? My Jin, you still here and awake? Anyway, let me do this. Let me check this. All right. Jin, you here? I can't see nobody's chats. Let me try this real quick. Okay. Where'd everybody's chat go? Where did my chat go? Oh no. Ah, there we go. Refreshed. All right. Nice. There we go. So now I can see all of you guys. But, so yeah, guys, that's just part one of Clint Gage Uncut. We're going to do tomorrow night where I explain a little bit more about me and about the things that I've went through. You know, so yeah, that's just a behind the scenes, you know, guys, of what goes on. You know, especially when it comes down to me. But I got some really cool stuff to show you guys, actually. We went to an antique mall. What's up, BMC? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm okay now, Mr. Rebel. I am. I wanted to explain to you guys why this past week has been so in videos. And it's because I've been having a lot of schizophrenia problems. I've been having to deal with it quite often, and it makes it really difficult to focus on videos. You know, it makes it really hard. What's up, Penguin? Thank you so much for showing up, everybody. Yeah, we can see your message, McCash. What's up, Purple Sun? Yeah, I'm fine. Guys, check this out. This is hand-carved Inuit hammer from Alaska, guys. I got this at an antique mall today. You know, yeah, cool, you fixed it. But my mom bought this for me at an antique mall. And you actually hold it like this. That's your hammerhead. And you use it for doing small little chisel work and everything like that. Purple Sun, no, you cannot get them on. But you can actually look closely. You can see the chisel marks inside of it where they hand chiseled everything. You know, so you can tell this is completely handmade. And I love the hell out of this thing. We're going to be putting it up in the living room and showing it off. But it's actually made out of ash tree wood, which is just amazing. What's wrong, my Jin? And then I found myself new hammers for my blacksmithing. This one is for actually taking and cutting through the metal to separate it out and make two separate pieces. You can also use this side right here to do fine curvature. You know, take and type something into a curve. You know, this is a very specialized little hammer for all its purposes. I think, I'm sorry there, Jin. I didn't mean to make you cry. And then I found an old school chipping hammer, which will help, guys, so I can start, you know, punching holes into my handles and everything like that, so I can add, you know, pins through them and everything. I'm sorry, Jin. And then we finally found ourselves a good big boy. You know, this wedge right here is great for starting your tangs and things of that sort. And this side right here is great for smashing and spreading that metal out. You know, this gives a lot of good surface area to it. I'm going to be replacing all the handles on these because these handles suck. So I'm going to replace them. And we're going to see how they go from there. So, yeah. We got 3 new antique two of them are antique. One of them's not. But we have 2 antique hammers for our blacksmithing now, guys. I was glitching. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Thank you, Country Boy Sweet. So yeah, we've got new hammers for definitely. Purple Sun. I have enough mods, and I had trouble with a mod recently. There's a lot of people who can no longer, come in and comment on my show because somebody decided to hide a bunch of people, and I'm trying to figure out everybody's sites, and there's just too many. There's just too many of them, and after having that troll pop in, he jumped in immediately and was like, "Can I be a mod?" And I was in a mood, and I was like, "Oh, sure." But yeah, no, I'm going to be a lot more careful on who gets to be a mod, guys. It's probably only going to be my Knights Generals. The Knights Generals are the guys in controls of all 12 of my chapters of my charity, the Knights of the Holy Rose Sanctum. So those are the guys in charge. Jin Jin's one of them, and Ohan, if he would show up, is one of them as well. We've got some interesting things planned. I got a new client today as well. So one of the knives that we're going to be making for when we get our new propane set up, we're going to start a new knife. And it's going to be for a nice man that's decided he wants to give my craftsmanship a shot. So we're going to make him a knife. Thank you for blocking him right off the bat, though. Thank you, Purple Sun, for liking and subbing. No, I'm not going to remove your mod, BMC. Don't worry about that. I am going to remove my hat, though, guys. Oh, just so y'all know, it's been a day, guys. It's just been a day. It's been a week, really. Nope, I'm not removing anybody's mods just yet. There we go. We got that. I'm not going to be removing anybody's mods. So don't worry if you have a mod status right now. I found out who was doing it and removed him. So that's all good. So don't worry about y'all's mod statuses. I found the cult sneaking channels, making themselves seem really friendly, and then destroying their channel from the inside out. Oh, that's all good. Thank you, Mr. Rebel. My Jin Jin's a great, sweet woman. Go check her out, guys, at JinHolder976. At JinHolder976. She's a wonderful young lady. She does a lot of good Christian videos, a lot of country music videos, and a lot of NASCAR. Oh, and she does a lot of coloring, too. I understand that, Purple Sun, but the fact that you're just coming straight in and asking is a red flag. Jumping straight in and asking somebody just screams troll. So I wouldn't do it, man. If you want to be a mod, you got to learn how to come in and say just a few nice words and sit there and just chilling out. Stop, please, on what there, Country Boy Sweet? Anyway, guys, welcome into the show. If you're new, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Usually we're a lot more positive, a lot more bouncing around and happy. Tonight we had a serious topic, though. So please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, or at least hit the like icon on your way out. Thank you all so much for being here. The support that I get from you guys is something I never expected. I didn't think I could be a good entertainer. So I'm glad that you guys find me entertaining, and I'm glad that you guys find me worthwhile, because I'm not exactly looking for validation from others. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure that if I stepped out into the world as myself, am I going to be accepted? That's all I want. Acceptance. Yeah, I know. Hi, Purple Zombie. I understand that, Jin Jin. It's awesome. That's why I like my channel so much, because it does bring people together. It has created a great community here where people can thrive and be themselves. You don't have to worry about judgment, because I don't let it happen. You know, and it's very awesome to set up a community where people care. You could walk in here and say, man, I just lost my girlfriend. And the first thing we're going to do is, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, what can we do to help you? Hey, man, don't worry. Keep your head up, And, it's just divorced. And we're going to be like, hey, we got people in here who knows how that feels, guys. Let's give this person some advice. These are just things we do. What's up, Yellow Bandit? But this is what the channel's all about. This is what I created this platform for. It was legitimately so that I could bring people together, so that people who are normally the outcast, people that are normally the ones that nobody likes, that nobody wants to talk to, has a place where they can be themselves and be accepted and not be spat on or judged or anything like that, because there's no reason for those things. Everybody's human. Why not let them be human? Why not let them show who they are without throwing a snobby nose up in the air or making a snide comment? There's nothing wrong with somebody dressing a little different. I mean, look at me. I dress like I live in the 1800s all the time. I enjoy it, though. It's comfortable to me. And I'm still trying to work on getting more period piece accurate clothing. It's just one of the ways I am. There's nothing wrong with being different. What's wrong is being judged. What's wrong is being hated for it. What's wrong is and these are all things that I try to prevent here in my show. These are all things that I try to make sure never happens. You don't have to worry about bigotry. You don't have to worry about anger. You don't have to worry about somebody picking on you, because we take care of them. Everybody takes care of their own. So like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and come join the family. It's going to be a great day. Guys, we've got about 15 minutes left. Got me a little bit of water here, so I'm going to drink me some of this. And then I got to go check on my shuck, and I'll be right back. That's better. He's doing good. Him and he just went over there to my stepmom's travel trailer to chill with him and my dad, or to chill with her and my dad. But welcome in. Nice to see you. Anyway, guys, I hope y'all liked part 1 of Clint Gage Uncut. This is hopefully going to give y'all a little bit more insight into why some days I just don't get a chance. Also, I'm usually pretty busy, trying to set up this business, guys. Trying to get clients, first off, trying to get materials, second off. I've been running all over the place trying to find free material or really cheap stuff at, garage sales and things of that sort. But I've managed to find some great things, though. Hey, chill out there, cowboy. Calm down, country boy. Who's picking on you? No, I didn't leave Penguin. Thank you all. Good night. But anyway, oh, Country Girl's your girlfriend, I guess. I'm glad to see you're still here, my Jin Jin. Thank you so much for still being here, baby. You know, there's a lot of things that would be a little different had it not been for my Jin Jin. You know, she's an incredible young lady. She's very much what I consider a true Christian to be. Because even though I'm a pagan, she took very much loves me. You know her age. Oh, chill out, country boy. But she's definitely been a great boost to me. We need unicorn vibes. Yes, definitely working on those. You know, unicorn vibe. Check this out, Lucy. A hand-carved totem hammer from Alaska. I thought this was cool. A little bit of Inuit art for me to put in my house. You know, this is actually a tool hammer. I love the heck out of it. You know, this is just so cool. You can see all the chisel marks telling that it's actually hand carved and everything like that. I thought it was so neat. Nice. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you. All right. See you later, Purple Sun. Yep, my Jin Jin is 43. Hopefully everybody had a good day. Sorry it took forever for me to get in, but I went antique hunting. So I found myself some new blacksmithing hammers. So we're going to put some new handles on those. That's going to be absolutely awesome. But I did forget, before we go, we got another 10 minutes left. Oh, it's nice to know you're 32, Miss Lucy. I wouldn't have thought that. You know, I actually saw your profile picture. I thought you were much younger. But just like I thought my Jin Jin was much younger than 43. That surprised the crap out of me. But I did forget to mention one other small detail, which is, oh, crap. Oh, dadgummit. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Yes, safety is important for everyone. You know, we definitely have had quite an adventure here, guys. We really honestly have. We've got 10 minutes left in the show. And we have went, since January 17th till now, we have gone up to 1,700 people, guys. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. You know, that is insane. Not only that, but we are almost at 3,000 watch hours. That is also insane. You know, guys, it hasn't been long since I started this YouTube channel, and it's just exploded. It's actually turned into something good. So I have to thank all of y'all, because had it not been for y'all to just continue to influence me on, continue to egg me on, because every like, every subscription, every person that joins the nights, and every donation to help out, you know, with the charity, guys, is just a step closer to a dream come true. And y'all are making that dream happen. Y'all are the help I was needing. And I couldn't do any of this without y'all. I couldn't even really hardly control my schizophrenia without you guys. Oh, now I remember what I was going to talk about. Schizophrenia and epilepsy both take a physical toll on the body. So when you guys look at me, you're like, I look pale, or I look old, or I look tired. It's because, yeah, I am. I'm not old, but I'm tired. I'm really messed up, guys. My physical health is not the best. But I do my absolute dangest to be able to bring it up back to where it used to be. And I try my hardest to make sure I stay around for you guys. You know, I had a heart attack at the beginning of this year, which was a terrible thing. And it was all because of a seizure. And it made me reconsider a few things. So I started training. And, you know, with you guys sitting there just egging me on and pushing me even further and pushing me even further, it's absolutely incredible that you guys have been so supportive and so amazing. You know, there's so many things that I wouldn't have been able to accomplish without y'all. You know, and I just want to thank you all for that, from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are absolutely the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life for a long time. And my Jen Jen, she's absolutely amazing. She keeps me on my toes. She wakes me up every morning. You ready for Morning Mojo? Like this morning, she was like, I'm ready to do Morning Mojo. I'm like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm scrambled eggs and can't even do it. I couldn't have done Morning Mojo today if I tried. You can ask my Jen Jen. I did not look up for the part, guys. It was not going to happen very well. So, we had to skip it for me. But, yeah, I see that. 21 likes. That's incredible. Thank you guys so much for being here again. I've gone through a lot of my life thinking that I was just the freaky kid sitting in the back corner that nobody wanted to talk to. And now here I am. I got fans. I know what it feels like to be popular. There's more people in my friends group, in my subscribers, than there are in my entire graduating class. It's amazing. Yo, yeah. Leno, welcome in, man. He's been a great long-standing moderator and a long-time fan of the show. He's just been out for a minute. He beat cancer. Yeah, he's not Sharky's a brother of the family. He's a brother of the group, man. Sharky's really cool. I could go on and on about how awesome a lot of you guys are. Louise, if she ever shows up, she's Scottish. She's absolutely the biggest sweetheart you'll ever meet. And then you have Country Girl Sweet, who's always looking for her little man. We got Mr. Rebel, who's always straightforward and all those stuff. But we've got Bubba. Bubba's awesome. Bubba Torrey, hadn't been in here in a while, but he was really a great addition to the show. We've lost some really good people, but we've gained some amazing people as well. And the community just keeps growing and just keeps getting bigger and just keeps getting better. And it's all because of you guys. It's all because of the strength that y'all give me. It's all because of the wisdom that I've gathered over the years that I can share with you guys, that y'all enjoy, listening to. Here pretty soon, whenever I run out of wisdom to talk about, and we no longer have final thoughts, and I've ran through all of the wise things that I've learned, then I'm going to start having possible story times. And, every night where I'm going to try to sit down every day and write a short story for you guys and read it to you guys. Thank you very much, Mr. Rebel. We try to stay that way. But guys, we got 4 minutes left in the show, and we ain't got too terribly much left to say. So I'm probably going to go on ahead and take it in, guys. I'm still pretty tired. My brain's still kind of scrambled eggs from everything that went on. So I will be seeing you guys tomorrow morning for Morning Mojo. Everything's going to be all right, and I'm okay. So thank you all so much for y'all's wonderful support. Y'all are the backbone of YouTube, the absolute lifeblood of every creator's channel. And don't forget, see you from the swamp, later from the gator. Love your mama, love your papa, love yourself. Be kind, and always find a way to help. All right, everybody? We'll see you all here next time. Same place, same location.